Hey, what's the largest problem you're facing right now with your junk removal business? Are you still researching the business and you're looking, hey, where do I get started? Are you not getting enough jobs? Are you slam busy and you're having to turn away work, but you don't know how to take it to the next level, how to hire crews and get more trucks? Are you worried that the crews you have aren't doing a great job or maybe even stealing from you? These are all problems that every junk removal business owner is gonna face as they grow. These are problems I've had and I've learned how to solve. The solutions can be found in the complete junk removal business training series. Grow your business, change your life with the JRA Complete Training Series. Hey everybody, hey, welcome. It is Tuesday, noon Eastern Time. What does that mean? It means it's time to talk a little junk on Let's Talk Junk, brought to you by Junk Removal Authority. Again, I'm Lee Godbold with Junk Removal Authority, where we help junk removal business owners make more money and live a better life. And today, what we're going to be covering is something that really applies to all business owners, and actually not just necessarily business owners, it applies to all people in general. And that's you've got to find a way to be content while chasing your purpose. And we're going to kind of break that down a little bit because there's some stuff in here that I've learned over the last few years that the previous decade I didn't apply. I think you're going to find it be very valuable. Because you as a business owner, if you're watching this show, you are somebody that is ambitious and you're chasing some sort of a purpose, whether or not you know what it is. And we're just going to kind of break that down and figure out if there's a way for us to help you be happier and actually achieve more all at the same time. Before we roll into that, if you guys, now that we're rolling into busy season, everybody's busy. Last week or so, we just heard from a ton of people. It's wide open. We're very, very busy. Some select areas still maybe kind of getting out of winter, but for the most part, everybody's really, really busy. That means you're going to be needing more trucks here soon. So check out junkremovaltrucksforsale.com. All we do are build junk removal trucks. Dual steel walls, they're dumps. We've still got chassis available. Most people added chassis. We still have some chassis remaining. Fairly quick turnaround times will be much quicker here soon. And it's just the truck you need with all the features you need and none of the ones that you don't. At a great price point, we'd love to help you out on junk removal trucks. Junkremovaltrucksforsale.com. Give us a call. You can speak with Bud. We'll get you set up. So, very first thing I want to do is I want to talk a little bit about ambition. And there's a few things on here. So we got be content. This is a word I used to not really like at all. I assumed like if you were contented, that meant that you were just oblivious to everything kind of going on around you. Just very, very happy. You weren't really chasing goals or anything. And that's 100% incorrect. Even if you look at these two definitions, the other thing is ambition. A lot of people look at ambition, some people consider ambition to be a negative thing, like non-business owner type people. Like if you're ambitious, sometimes people even almost use it as ambitious. Some people almost use it as like a negative connotation. But ambition, if you look at the definition of it, it's a strong desire to achieve something typically requiring hard work. So a strong desire to achieve something requiring hard work and determination. We'll just say requiring hard work here, so I don't have to write too much. I'm getting lazy talking about hard work. All right, so a strong desire to achieve something requiring hard work. And then let's talk about content. What's the definition of content? And guys, if you have any questions throughout this show, feel free to post them in the comment section, and Matt will relay them over to me, and we'll get your answer. So content is in a state of peaceful happiness. So these almost seem like they're counter. We're going to tell you why they're not. Why you can be content while still being ambitious and kind of chasing your goals and chasing your dreams. So in a lot of ways, what ambition does is it gives your life purpose. So I've got purpose really underscored right here. Being ambitious, having goals, having dreams really gives yourself purpose. And living a life without purpose is really not worth living at all. And the people that don't have purpose, you can always recognize them for the most part. There's no set time for them to wake up in the morning. Oftentimes they've got a very, very poor family life. These are the people that get addicted to drugs, alcohol, excessive partying. You know, these are the people that just bounce from thing to thing to thing. And it's the reason they do that is they simply have absolutely no purpose at all. And ambition has different levels as well. I'm much more ambitious than most. Many people on this channel are going to be extra ambitious. The amount of ambition is unimportant. So what you want to accomplish, how well you want to be known, how many people you want to interact with, how much money you want to make, whatever, all that doesn't really matter. What matters is having a purpose. No matter how large or small that purpose is, you must find what your purpose is. So what's my purpose? If I break down and I look, you know, what's the purpose that I've got beyond making money? Because we're going to talk a little bit about that throughout the episode, but making money cannot be your driving factor. Otherwise, you'll actually make less money and you won't have a really positive effect, and you won't be as happy if chasing money is your only objective. So my purpose is, I'll tell you what I initially had wrote down here. It's helping as many true business owners, non-technical business owners, realize their life dreams, helping as many of them realize their life dreams as possible. And it's showing people how to have fun and enjoy life even while you're on your journey to be successful. And then the other one I had was create opportunities for individuals who join our teams. So that's our JRA team, our junk doctors team, our truck bodies team. The people that join those three businesses realize their dreams and their purpose. So provide them with fair wages, good benefits, opportunities to advance, opportunities to learn. When we hire people, we're not necessarily just looking for people that college degrees aren't even required. Most of the people here have college degrees at JRA, but they're not required. We're looking for people that know how to seek out knowledge, and they have a hunger to learn, and they have a hunger to advance, and they can enjoy working, and they've got a good personality. And those are the people I seek out over technical knowledge. We've hired a few people that's had a lot of technical knowledge. Most of them, or not most of them, the one I can have in mind is gone. You know, not with us anymore. He didn't have the personality. So I changed this a little bit, though. I actually got rid of the last one. That's very important, but what I did is actually I merged it into the very first one. So it's help as many people realize their dreams as possible. So as many people as I interact with, helping them realize their dreams. We've got a lady that's been cutting my hair for the past 3 years, and she started her own business, but just because of interactions with me. And she's moved from place to place. She started at like it's called The Guy's Place, which is a haircut place local around here. She moved to Supercuts and somewhere else. And I actually followed her in like a 30-minute radius just because I liked her so much. And she did great work. She did consistent every single time. It was a great experience. She was a happy person. I helped her get a business started here recently, and she's actually going to be doing some administrative work with us on the side with the truck body division. So I'm always looking for people that I interact with to be able to help, and that's very much one of my purpose. And then having fun is a purpose also. We're going to be rolling out more of that content moving forward, especially over on our Godbold Unlimited channel. I'm into aerobatics. I'm into car racing, into travel. And just stuff kind of around here. I enjoy having fun, and I've found ways to have fun outside of purely business. And I think a lot of business owners, you get so just singularly focused on achieving this business success goal, and I think that's required. But at the same time, you have to find a way to kind of enjoy yourself and have fun. So I know we've got a question. We're rolling that in just 1 second. The thing I want to ask you is, what is your purpose? And if you guys wanted to post that in the comment channel, I'd love to kind of talk about that. But what's your purpose? It could be to provide the best possible life and opportunities for your family members, your friends and family. That's an excellent purpose. It might be to help those that are in need get clothing, shelter, education through the donations your junk removal company you might make. You might even not even do much to achieve your life's purpose with your business, but that gives you the resources, the time and the resources. If you build your business right, that gives you the time and the resources to donate your time and your resources to your purpose. So your business doesn't necessarily have to achieve your purpose. You're going to probably build a better business if you can do that. But what you need to always keep in mind is, all right, if my business doesn't directly help me reach my purpose, it gives me the time and the resources that I can then use to reach my purpose. So what are your purposes outside of just making money and building your business? What kind of question we got there, Matt?
Adam A. says, hi, I'm about to start a junk removal business in North Carolina and just bought a used box truck with a GVW-R over 10,000 pounds. Do I need to stop at waste stations in North Carolina?
I don't believe so. No, it's a non-CDL truck, so I think you're good there. Got two more?
Next question. Lee, you've heard of bar rescue. I need junk rescue. My guys can't wake up in the morning and always forget their uniform.
Yep. Just if they show up to work without that uniform, they can't work. They better go back home and get it.
And the last question is, do you offer your services to people that live in Raleigh, North Carolina, or is that too much of a conflict of interest for you?
Yeah, obviously, I mean, you're able to view all of our YouTube videos and all that kind of stuff. The training series is you're actually eligible for that, being in North Carolina. Outside of that, though, in our contact center service. So we'll provide our contact center services. Everything else, though, at the moment is closed off to anybody in the state of North Carolina. Appreciate your question there. Great question. All right. So we're talking about what's your purpose. And like I said, feel free to put that in the comment section. We'd love to kind of go over that. Fulfilling your purpose never ends. So, like, this is one thing that it's like, if you've set a purpose, like, it's never going to fully be reached. You're always going to be going after it. Even if you're doing everything that, you're doing much of what you're going after, there's always ways to help more people and really provide more to reaching your purpose. And also what you're going to find out is as you advance and continue through life and as years pass, that purpose will change some. You're probably going to find some stuff that you're passionate about that you decide that you want to go ahead and focus some time and attention to, and maybe you feel like you've reached whatever your purpose is at that point and that's running well, and now you're shifting your attention over to something else. But you don't have to keep the same purpose forever. You want to think about, before you change it, think about it long and hard. But if at some point as your life changes and as you get married, as you have kids, maybe eventually as you have grandkids, as somebody you love passes away, as major life events occur, maybe you reach the level of business success that you wanted, and at this point you sell your business and you've got more time and resources to shift over to something else. Your life is constantly going to be changing, and your purpose can be changing as well, but it shouldn't be something that changes on a daily, weekly, or even a yearly basis. This is a major decision over time that you'll begin to kind of change that purpose. So the one thing that I always want to remember, when I was younger, and even now, I was very lucky. I grew up in aviation, and the neat thing about aviation, there's a couple things. One, it helped me realize that I love flight. I love flying. I love the freedom it gives me. It costs money, so I knew that, all right, I had to find a way to make some money to be able to actually do this. And then the other thing is it helped me, it exposed me to people that had money, because the people in aviation generally do. So I was able to observe them, and I realized most of these guys, they were pretty hardworking individuals. And I learned a lot kind of through them, and it also helped me expose to myself to kind of older people. So I had a lot of my friends were much older than me. Now several of them have since passed, but what I learned from them, and something that an older person always talks about, is how short life is. So there's a gentleman that he's still alive now. He's 91 years old, and I've traveled all over with him over the past since I was a kid, past 25 years. Dad was in aviation, so we did a lot of traveling with him. We went to some air shows, and we'd fly off. Sometimes he had a pretty quick plane, so we'd hop in and we'd go up to West Virginia for lunch sometimes, and we'd go down to Florida. We'd take a trip down to Florida for a couple days or something like that. And I was really one of the things he always talked about is he was a very driven individual. He started a successful company, made good money, invested in a lot of land, but he was like, what you have to figure out to do is how to have fun and be content through that entire process. Because he's like, dude, your life's short. He said, from the time you turn 25, he's like, I woke up one morning, I was 25, and it's like the next day I was 70. And that time period in between, things just so much, you just really, really, really accelerate. So you don't want to get lost in achieving your business goals and miss out on everything else that's really, really important in your life. And man, I've been there. Luckily I called it before a lot of people do. I'm only 31 right now. A lot of people are 50 or 60 years old, successful business guys, before they realize that. And throughout my 20s, I was much the same way. Throughout my 20s, I saw my purpose as making as much money as possible. So being actually even perceived as a success, that was important to me. Looking back, it's like, why did I even care? But that perception was important. So what happened is because those were my two driving factors, I wasn't all that focused. I was always chasing kind of the next opportunity. I was all over the place. What also happened is if you have a goal, and many of you do if you think about it, you don't know it and you want to admit to it, but if you want to be perceived as a success, everything you do is very much on the surface level. You're never going to have a truly great business with really, really good depth that's actually going to provide value to the world. It might earn you some sort of an income, but the problem is if all you want to do is chase a dollar, then the next opportunity that comes up, your interest is going to change away from your primary business. It's going to go on to something else, and you're never truly going to be great at everything. Guys, we only have one life. I go back to talking about the older generation and having a lot of my friends being older, and many of them have passed away. They're gone. They're not coming back. You get one life. At 31 years old, I've likely lived, maybe not, but somewhere around a third of my life has already been lived. And if you guys are 40, you're getting closer to a half. Not quite there yet, but you're probably closer to a half. So time's to change it right now. You get no do-overs. You get no repeats. This isn't a video game where you can hit a reset button. So every single one of you that are feeling a constant stress and you're just always singularly focused on making your business just as successful as possible. I get enjoyment out of that too, but you've got to find something greater than just chasing dollars. There's got to be some other purpose in there. This is a lesson that I recently learned. I told you guys I'm 31. All throughout my 20s, I was chasing that dollar. So no matter how old you are right now, this is something that you need to address. You really need to think about it. And Austin was the same way too. That's my wife. She was kind of the same way. I remember one point we were talking about, not that we were unhappy. We just, it was always things are going to be a lot better once. I remember the first things like once she graduated, and then once we got married, and then like with business, it was once we got a second truck, and once we got a third location with junk removal. Once I have a faster airplane, I can do all these things, and that'll make me even happier. Once I have a nicer vehicle, once we have our dream home, that was one thing we always talked about. We were getting ready to start building it, but it was always, looking at the next thing without necessarily enjoying what we had, which is really more than most. In a lot of ways, though, it's irrelevant. You just gotta find a way to enjoy what you have, and really, really be content. So let's go back. We have this definition of contentment here: state of peaceful happiness, and we have ambition, strong desire to achieve something that probably requires hard work and dedication. So how can I remember throughout my 20s, I looked at being as content, again, as like a negative thing. That meant you were happy with where you were. And what I found now is you have to be happy with where you're at now and happy with what you've accomplished now while still going after the next thing in order to achieve your purpose. So all these goals I listed, second truck, third location up and going, faster airplane, these goals are worthy goals. They're all worthy goals, but they're not necessarily a large purpose. It's just by achieving our purpose, it's giving us the resources to really afford these nicer things. One of the things that our income began going way up, a year and a half, 2 years ago, when I got a purpose beyond monetary gain. And the reason for that is again, you chase stuff if it's just monetary gain. So let me give you an example of something that we have set a goal to do. Nth Zone, we haven't talked about that very much, but Nth Zone is the next company. Next quarter, it begins to get pushed pretty hard, and we'll give more details on that moving forward. But one of the big goals on Nth Zone is creating an alternative to college and a way for hungry people to advance and succeed. Again, that's not only team members or clients, it's both. So anybody that interacts within Nth Zone, we want to be able to give them those opportunities. So Nth Zone is going to have digital marketers. One of the things we will do is we will spend our time and resources to create internal training on managing Google Ads campaigns, on managing search engine optimization, on building out websites, on customer service, business etiquette. We're going to put together a huge knowledge bank that anybody that comes and works here is going to have access to at no charge. The eventual goal of it is, by the end of 2024, is for us to essentially have almost an alternative to college. And people in the North Carolina market that are in North Carolina, we already have people moving here to work for Junk Removal Authority. Had a guy from Wisconsin just moved here. A guy from New Jersey just moved here. We've got somebody else we're interviewing that are probably about to start moving here. So we got people coming throughout the country to come here. The goal is when we have this set up, we're considered one of the top, relatively small employers in the state of North Carolina, the Research Triangle area. And one of the reasons for that is because we're not going to require you to have all this extra experience. We want you to have ambition and the ability to learn, and then we want to give you the resources. There is no guarantee that us doing that us providing that level of education to the people that come here, there's no guarantee that there's going to be any financial benefit whatsoever. I believe there will be, but irregardless, we're going to do it because that is the purpose we've set out. And then on the other end, InZone is going to be a little unique. I don't want to give a whole lot of details on it. It's very similar to what we've done with JRA. It's utilizing people that have been successful in industry, and it's educating others to help them do the same and providing them with the services to help them do the same, to achieve success and to ultimately gain freedom in their life. Again, it's helping people. So InZone is not a guarantee to be successful, but we're going to do it, and I believe it will be. And if we help enough people, it'll be successful. So that is, again, my purpose, and you just need to think about what yours is as well as you move kind of throughout your business and your life. We got any questions?
One gentleman put his purpose on, Junk 180. Good afternoon, Lee. My purpose is to gain freedom. I have a great paying regular job but work way too much. I needed to find a way out while offsetting that income. Scaling the business large enough to be able to do that. Hope to leave the refinery this year.
Yeah, good comment there, James. I would think a little bit even more on that, though. I mean, gaining freedom in your life is great, but I don't know as if that's necessarily your ultimate purpose. Like, why do you want to gain that freedom? So, why do you want the freedom not to have to work and all like that? Is it helping out your family? Is it helping out your community? You know, what are you passionate about that you can use that extra free time to carry out? And it could just be spending more time with your kids and traveling the world. And you know, if you're married and you know y'all just improving your relationship or whatever like that, you know, but you really need to identify that. If it's going after just freedom, you're probably going to be bored as hell once you get out, saying, "Well, not you know what the hell do I do now?" But I appreciate the comment there, Junk 180. So this is recently we had a staff member quit with no notice out of the blue, and this has been maybe 2 months ago. And where I'm going with this now is you need to be content even when you're going through bad things. So this put a lot of stress on us. This individual, she was a key member of our Google Ads management department, and did good work. Did good work. Clients liked her, but she quit on it. She quit on us. Basically, gave us no notice at all, and left our ads team leader just kind of in a very, very bad situation, because all of a sudden, you know, the amount of accounts he was having to manage doubled. And we buckled down, and Shane got involved in managing some campaigns. I was looking at managing some campaigns, and we just kind of decided, you know what, we need to make sure that we have plenty of resources on this ads department. It provides the most value to our clients, or provides a lot of value to our clients. It's our largest income generator internally for Junk Removal Authority, and it's also the thing that clients pay the most attention to and means the most, because every single day they're forking out money to Google. And if we're not doing our job, then their business we're going to not achieve our purpose, which is actually helping people. On the other end of things, also with our purpose being to help people, it would put our team members in a bad situation. So that ads team, all of a sudden, they were in a bad point, because essentially we hadn't given it quite enough resources in terms of people to be able to withstand somebody quitting like that and somebody no longer with our team. And this individual is probably a little bit overworked, so we'll take a little bit of blame on that. You know, I think in our constant desire to really give clients the best possible experience and do what's best for them and do what they requested, sometimes our team members were put in positions where we weren't necessarily looking out for them. We were kind of forgetting about them. And I think a lot of times it was, all right, well, this is eventually going to get better. And at that point, once she was gone, I came to the realization, you know what, we can't wait on this. It's got to get better immediately. So what we've done is we've hired several more people, and I don't know how we've lucked out. We've gotten some people that are just super, super, super good. They're getting trained up right now. They're already on the back end managing accounts on a daily basis. They'll be communicating with clients a bit more here recently, and we're just going to put more resources than we need there. We're going to over-resource it. That way, we make sure that we're not overworking our team. Our team actually has time to learn new stuff. They're not just stuck in doing things that they do constantly, and they'll really be able to kind of achieve that purpose. So that 6 weeks or so, I think it was about 6 weeks, maybe it was 2 months, it was somewhere in that range. That was a tough point for everybody here. We lost a few clients because of it. We looked a little unstable because it was actually 2 people leave kind of right there together. So clients were getting kind of bounced around with different people or whatever. The work was still getting done, but they just perceived it as us being unstable and they left. So we were still doing a good job. But we were sitting there worried about the rest of our ads department just no longer being able to put up with it either. And I didn't blame them. So that period was very, very tough. But what you'll be surprised with is throughout the entire time, I don't know, I was content. Some of our team might not have been, but I knew we had a big issue. I knew we needed to fix it as much as possible. My attention was focused on that, but I just kept telling myself, you know what, this tough period we're going through right now, this is required for us to get to the next really, really, really good period where we've built out this just amazing company that's achieving our purpose. So this tough period right here, we're never going to get to the next part if we don't go through it. And I think just that knowledge that this was just a required piece of the puzzle, that allowed me to stay positive or content throughout the entire process. And had I not been content and not positive, it would have been perceived as the team would really start worrying then. So it's very, very, very important that you find a way to do that. And you understand that bad things are going to happen. That's simply required as part of the journey. We're going to be wrapping this thing up here soon, guys. So if you have any other questions, please post them in the comments. Questions or comments, put in the comments. Always appreciate you guys joining us here on these Tuesdays. I realize this is not very junk removal related, but sometimes I just kind of cover stuff that I'm thinking about. This is something that's kind of been on my mind over the last week or so. So you must find ways to always be content doing the journey. In your junk removal business, you are going to have people that are going to let you down. You're going to have equipment that's going to break. And you're going to have customers that have unreasonable demands. You're going to have price increases. You're going to have wrecks. You're going to have periods of time where things are very, 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 very slow. We just came out of some of those periods. Many of you did. January and February, pretty much every single year. All of this stuff is going to occur. Every single one of them. All of those are required things for you to go through to get your business to what you desire and for you to reach your purpose. Every Tuesday at noon Eastern. I guess before we wrap, do we have any last questions or comments there, Matt?
Yes, we just got a question.
Okay, what you got?
So from Aaronix says, I'm having a hard time balancing a full-time job with my junk removal business. I would like to see this topic covered, either tapering between the 2 jobs, or should I just stop trying to balance both?
Well, my first question would be is, what's your current income now with your regular job, and how much junk removal stuff are you doing? So as a general rule, it just depends on what you're making. If you're in a current job and you're making 30, 40 grand a year, you can probably go off in your junk removal business and relatively quickly get close to that. If you're making 60, 70, 100, or 100 plus, it's going to take you a little bit longer. It might take you 18 months before you're close to replacing that income. So you've got to set a goal saying, you know what, I need to get my junk removal business to a point where it's close to what I believe is an acceptable replacement income. So let's say you're currently making 60. I need to get my junk removal business to where I'm making, let's say, 30. And that's half, but to where I'm making 30, and then I'm going to quit my other job. I'm going to go full-time in on junk. Because I know if I'm full-time in on junk, then I'm probably going to quickly make up that difference. I'm probably going to quickly get it from 30 to 40 or 50. And then at that point, I'm just going to have to buckle down and live as cheap as possible. So that's an example I use often, is that $60,000 income on how to approach it. On the other end of the spectrum, and I've seen people do this and do it well, if you're making 100 plus, you're actually in a unique situation where you go out, you can hire a team, you can get a good supervisor in place that can handle much of the day-to-day operations. You're gonna have to get them trained up, so hopefully you have some vacation time. You can use something like the JRA Contact Center to field all incoming calls, so we'll book all the jobs on your behalf 7 days a week, so you don't have to worry about answering your phone. And then you use a system like WorkEase, and we go through all this training in our junk removal training series, 155 videos that covers how to do this, how to have a business that can run without you. You have numbers that you check to make sure they're doing a good job, make sure they're not stealing from you. You get by maybe in the mornings or the afternoons, at least a few times a week, check on the conditions of your truck. You make sure that your books are being kept up with constantly. You're looking at your numbers, making sure everything is lined up. You're doing follow-up calls to customers to make sure that your crews are doing a great job. So if you have a higher 100K plus income, what you do is you build the business without you even having to give on the truck. And in a way, you've got a little bit of an advantage there. Now, the reason I say 100K plus, and maybe 100K is even a little high, maybe it's more like 75K plus. You should be in a position where you can pay a little extra for some more people and a good supervisor and really make it happen. Anything else there, Matt?
Yes. Jonathan Park says, can you negotiate tip fees at the landfill, or does everybody pay the same price?
Yeah, you can. It's difficult for a junk removal business, though, because normally you get lower rates when you dump a certain amount of volume, and it's normally so much higher than any junk removal company is ever going to dump, because what they're going after is they're going after the guys that the regular trash haulers or some of your construction debris haulers that some of these guys doing dumpster rentals and all that might have 600 cans or something like that, or even 1,000 cans. They just have a significant volume. Those guys get discounts. It's harder for the smaller guys, your junk removal guys, to do it. That being said, your scale house attendant, treat them like gold. Almost every single one of them smokes. A lot of them like, and a lot of them seem to like Mountain Dews. I'm stereotyping here, but most of them smoke. Most of them like Mountain Dews. So every so often, once a week or whatever, we were buying a pack of cigarettes and we were bringing them a Mountain Dew. And that kind of stuff, that gets you in favor of the scale house attendant. It's much like if any of you guys have ever been in sales, the gatekeeper, it's important to the secretary, whoever's answering the phone or whatever, if you're trying to get in touch with the decision maker, it's important to get that person to like you, because that's the person that recommends you to the person you're actually trying to speak about. So the scale house attendant is that. Have all the landfill guys really like you. Just get to the point where they enjoy having you there, and then try and negotiate. Now, even then, that's not always going to work. That might work on a smaller, privately owned landfill. Your government jobs, it probably never will. They're going to strictly be, this is the amount you have to dump to get any sort of a lower rate. If it's a big outfit, obviously the chance of that occurring is much, much, much lower. But if you're dealing with a landfill or transfer station that's kind of locally owned, you might have a shot just by going that route. And then once you have multiple trucks running 2, 3, 4, once a year, it doesn't hurt. Hey, this is what I've been using your transfer station or landfill for. I could go down 10 minutes down the road if I wanted and use this guy's, but I want to use you, but I need a price break. So it's always worth a shot. What else we got?
No more questions.
No more questions. All right. Well, guys, I appreciate you joining us here. Hopefully you found it helpful. Every single Tuesday at 12 noon Eastern, we come your way with Let's Talk Junk. It's busy now. It's busy, busy, busy. If you're not on Google Ads, or if you're self-managing Google Ads, and you want to make more money, be more profitable, get more work, then set up a call with one of our ad specialists. We'll go through a consultation. We can review your current account. We can talk to you about ads. We can make sure it's right for you, make sure you're ready for it. We'd love to help you out. 919-617-1975, junkrA.com. We'll see you next Tuesday at 12 noon Eastern. I'm Lee Godbold with Junk Removal Authority, where we help junk removal business owners make more money and live a better life.